What is up, boys? Back with a new video, and today we're going to cover the perfect rest day. So you can see here I made this little board explaining what you need to know, basically the three pillars of diet, mobility, and recovery to maximize your recovery and your workouts for your rest days. So pretty straightforward. We're going to get right into this. Minimize my little bubble here. So number one is the diet. What we want to change, if I can zoom in, there we go. So diet is our nutrition, obviously. So we're gonna be doing a different breakdown of our macros and what we're eating to adapt for no training. So what I mean by this is you're not gonna hit a workout for your day because it is a rest day. So it is gonna be different than if you were gonna hit a workout. So what we're gonna change is not the calories. So we're gonna keep calories the same, and we'll get into this later on in increasing your activity, but mostly the macronutrients. So, what do you actually change for your macros? Number one, and most importantly, is less carbs because you do not want to eat a big amount of carbs on your rest day because you don't need to use them as fuel. Carbs should be looked at as a fuel source, as a tool to hit a workout. So, if you're not going to hit a workout, you don't need to use carbs as a tool for that day. So, you're going to lower the carbs, increase protein and fats to make up for those calories. I'll lean more into the proteins because of the thermogenic effect, which you should know by now. And then more fats is going to help with hormonal support. And I can break down different types of fats in a later video and how to get into this as well. And lastly, the micronutrients. So just want to make sure you are hitting all your values for your micronutrients. You can use the Chronometer app or the website. You can make an account there and pretty much log all your food that you eat for the day. It's going to break down exactly every macro and micronutrient that you need based on what your diet is. So really good tool for you guys. I can leave that in the description as well. And then next up we have mobility. So mobility, in all honesty, it is not a requirement for most of my lifting career journey, whatever you want to call it. I did not do any sort of mobility, but now more recently that I'm focusing more on my fitness, I'm definitely doing more mobility because in the long run, you do want to take care of your body. But just to put that out there, is not a requirement. It's not going to make you stronger, but in the long run, it is very beneficial to do. And if you are going to take a rest day, you do have extra time to do some mobility work. Doesn't even have to take that long, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, and you can be done with this. So yeah, take the day with no workout to focus on the smaller details on your body. Like I just said, you're gonna have a little bit more time, so you can put that into these smaller details, which will be very beneficial in the long run. So the different mobilities you want to focus on would be, biggest one for me is shoulder external rotation, doing any sort of movement like this. Then your hips as well. This is big for running. And then back as well, lower back, and then the mid thoracic spine. These are all really big parts of your body that need some mobility work in the long run, or you're gonna notice it in the long run. I've been lifting for almost 5 years consistently, and I've noticed my shoulders have really internally rotated. So that's why I focus a lot on this part. So the different exercises that you can do is I give you guys two for each one. So for shoulder external rotation, be some wall angels. So how you do these, put your back against the wall, everything straight, and then you're just gonna do some angels like this. Bring your arms up. Do those for about a minute or 2 minutes. These are gonna hurt the first time you do them. They are pretty painful, but get them done. They are very worth it, and they're really good for your shoulders. Then some cable external rotation. So take a cable, and then you take the handle, and then you're just doing this movement here, and keeping your elbow pinned. And it's gonna work that rotator cuff, which is gonna work that shoulder rotation for you guys. Next up is the hips. So hip 90-90s. This is where you get on the ground and then you put your hips in a sort of 90-degree position. Honestly, just look up another YouTube video tutorial on this. I can't explain this with my hands, but definitely a good one to focus on. And then also hip flexors. Look up another video for that if you want to learn how to do those correctly. And then for your back, wall crosses, these are pretty easy to explain. put your back on a wall like this, and then you're gonna rotate 180 degrees so that you're flexing like this and you're all the way rotated with your back still against the wall. And then thread the needle is where you get on the ground and then you're almost doing like a wall cross as well, but more on the ground. You can look up tutorials on this as well. I just want to give you guys the best exercise you can do for mobility on your rest days. So that covers that. And then recovery, definitely really important. It's what we're doing outside of training to adapt to the stimulus of your workouts. So the whole reason we even take rest days is to be able to come back stronger and recover from the stimulus that we put on our body. When we hit our workout, all we're doing is stimulating growth, and then our recovery is what allows us to grow in the first place. So, what you want to do here, definitely good to include some sort of sauna. If you have access to any sort of sauna, hit that on your rest days. Really good way to recover. And then sleep, of course. I don't like to go big into sleep because I think it's really overpreached. It is still very important, but I think a lot of you guys have seen how to get good sleep. I don't have to go over that too much. Only thing I do want to cover is light. So probably the biggest thing that influences the quality of your sleep is your light exposure in the day. So just quickly, in the morning, get sunlight in the day, and then at night, dim the lights or turn off all the lights. Don't look at any bright lights at night, and you should be good to go. Pretty straightforward there. And then active recovery. This is what I mentioned when we're doing increasing activity here. We're not just going to sit on the couch all day. That's not going to be productive for us. So what we want to do is any sort of walking. So increase your step count for the day or do some zone 1 or 2 cardio. So basically low intensity, either running or biking or whatever form of cardio you like to do. Get that done in a very low intensity mode. So zone 1 or 2. That's what I like to do. I usually do zone 2 or just up the steps for the day if I'm not going to go for a run. But definitely get that in because we don't want to just be super inactive for the day. It's still going to be a recovery, but it's not going to impact us if we're doing this low intensity form of getting more steps in or more cardio. And the last thing is hot and cold. So what I like to do is take a hot cold shower. I really do this every single day. In the morning, you just switch from cold shower to hot shower, do a minute each, and it's gonna really feel good and get that circulation flowing in your body. And then if you have the option, another option is to do sauna slash ice bath. So get in the sauna, rinse off, and then get in the ice bath right away. Also really good for your sleep. So if you do this at night, you can do the sauna at night and then rinse off, get in an ice bath. It's going to really help your sleep for this part. So that is all I have for the rest day. That's how to perfect your rest day, what you need to know.